Did you know that your baby boy will one day walk on water? Did you know that your baby boy would save our sons and daughters? Did you know that your baby boy has come to make you new? This child that you delivered will soon deliver you. Mary, did you know that your baby boy will give sight to a blind man? Did you know that your baby boy would calm a storm with his hand? Did you know that your baby boy has walked where angels trod? When you kiss your little baby, you've kissed the face of God. Mary, did you know? Did you know that your baby boy will one day rule all nations? Did you know that your baby boy was heaven's perfect lamb? And this sleeping child we're holding is the great
Wow, Deidrey. Someone else commented in the chat on Facebook that was beautiful. And it was, friend. Those of you that were here on Wednesday night recognize that Deidrey sang that song on Wednesday night as well. And while she was singing that song Wednesday night, I heard that still small voice within me that said, explain this. Explain what this song means from a unity truth perspective. And so that's what I want to do today, because I went to Raleigh on Friday and passed a number of billboards along the way that, those big billboards that say Jesus is the reason for the season. And Jesus is the reason for the season, but from the unity truth perspective, it's not the same reasoning as what most people in Christian theology focus on. Because we know that the birth of Jesus is representative of the I am consciousness present in our lives and in our consciousness. That each of these colors and these flames represent that we awaken these faculties within our consciousness so that we can live the truth of the Christ of our being. right? Not that actual candle, not the finger that points at the moon, right? It's pointing in the direction so that we can go within and find that place of illumination where divine mind is breathing you in this moment. Mary, did you know? Mary, did you know? Mary represents spiritual love in this manifest form. And wisdom, Joseph represents wisdom. Did you know? Did you have this wisdom? Are you putting your love together? Are you combining your love with your wisdom so that you can make right and perfect decisions from the highest and best good of who you are? Has anybody ever made a loving decision that wasn't, grounded in wisdom? We can be, kind of foolish at times with our love, right? And wisdom without love can be harsh and demanding. And so the very beginning of the awakening of the Christ in us is to combine our love and our wisdom so that our baby boy, our divine idea that's coming forth from us can come to maturity, that it can actually come into the manifest world. Because I'm not sure, but I'm almost completely convinced that unless your love and your wisdom are combined, that some of the ideas that come about are not divine in nature. And those ideas that we should cultivate in the manger of our hearts are our divine ideas, those ideas that are grounded in love and grounded in wisdom, so that they may walk on water. Walking on water. Charles Fillmore writes, "It is not necessary to walk on material water to follow Jesus. His walking on the water is a lesson in spiritual overcoming. When we have found the spirit of the law, the material expression adjusts itself." See, walking on water is spiritual overcoming. It is overcoming what appears to be true in the manifest world and understanding the power of our thinking and feeling natures. Our thinking and feeling natures, which can change our experience of the world. Doesn't always change the events out there, but it changes what happens within us. Because we know that we can focus on changing somebody else all we want to, right? And until they have the thought to change, the feeling to change, they're not going to do it. I found that out when I, did not use my love wisely. People didn't change. Because we want to save our sons and daughters, right? We want to save all of our children. We want to save all of the divine ideas. Now, salvation is a curious thing in unity thought circles. Right? Saving is implying deliverance, preservation from destruction or calamity. That's according to Webster's dictionary. But see, we know that in our truth study, that the understanding that the Christ within, sometimes termed the I am, can save and deliver us from difficulty. That this inner God presence is the real source of the protection we seek. See, when we turn to our divine wisdom and we turn to our divine love, and we can channel that truth and love into our manifest experience, everything changes. It is preserved. So we overcome. We overcome over and over again because our divine ideas have come to make us new. New birth. The realization of our spiritual identity. Our spiritual identity. Because let me remind us all this morning that we are all fully human. Yes, we are all fully human, but we are also fully divine, and our divinity and our humanity intersect, and we get to have new life. And that is the glory of God living in you, as you, in each and every moment. And so we bring this into the world, and we bring the I am into our consciousness. We don't let it lie dormant. We awaken it. We birth it into our consciousness. And guess what? It delivers us from all of the error thinking that shows up in this world. It delivers us from our error thinking, from our sin. See, when we do this, we give sight to the blind man. Remember those parables? The blind man, the lame man, all of these people who get healed. These are not just individual characters in a narrative about our way shower. These are characters that show up in us, in our consciousness. Just as this white candle represents Jesus, the I am of our consciousness, and each one of these candles represents a different disciple that represents a faculty of the Christ light within us. These characters that get healed represent some part of our consciousness. Right? When we are blind, we have no perception of our own capacity. We have no confidence in our own power to rise above, to overcome the conditions in the material world. Have you ever suddenly realized you were being blind to your own power? But we are unlimited in power. We're unlimited in power because there is only one power and one presence, God, unlimited, absolute good, and unconditional love. And if that power is showing up in the illuminated part of your consciousness, the I am of you, then all of that power is available to you when you partner your love with your wisdom and eliminate all of your other faculties. And see, then we are commanded to calm the storm. Remember calming the storm? Be still. Be still and know. See, we have to have self-control. See, I've said for many years that you don't get to wander into a new thought tradition and stay there comfortably if you're not willing and ready to assume responsibility for your experience of life. And so we have to learn how to calm the storm, be still and know, by having self-control, by being able to monitor what are the thoughts and feelings that I am having that are manifesting the experience I'm having. And not all of them are conscious. You know this, right? Some of them are unconscious. So sometimes we identify that thought and we change our mind, and then because we haven't focused on everything that we have to change our mind changes back. Because some of those thoughts have little seedling thoughts that run all underground, all through our unconsciousness, that we have to find and root out and use our faculty of renunciation and move them over to the compost pile of our lives. All right, let them become fertile soil for that life that we want to experience. we have to make sure we're willing to hear. The deaf will hear. Deaf denotes a state of mind that is unreceptive, that does not listen to the revealing Spirit. So we have to be willing to listen. And how do you listen? Spending time in prayer and meditation. We know this here at Unity. That we pray we don't pray to get God to change God's mind, because God is absolute good. Absolute never changes. We pray that we might change in consciousness, that we can stand in the truth of who we are. And when we stand here and we know the truth, we can see clearly. We can hear clearly. And we know how to use all of these incredible faculties in our lives. And then we get to praise the Lamb. Praise awakens in ourselves a higher realization of the omnipresence and the omnipotence of God. Right? Praise doesn't change God any more than prayer changes God. Prayer and praise lift us up into that power, that perception, that truth of who we are. And so we want to awaken and know so that we can praise the Lamb. Purity of life. Innocence. Right? Pureness. Because here we know at Unity, we know that we were not born into sin, yes? We were born into this incredible opportunity to simply be love. But we have to make certain decisions. We have to live a certain way, according to the teachings of our way shower, who teaches us about our thinking and feeling nature in all of his lessons. So these are some of the lessons of Mary Did You Know? It sounds like another Christmas hymn about a baby in a manger, born of a virgin. But it is a calling forth of each one of us to awaken to the innocence that lives within us, the I am of our being. And to be willing to cultivate and nurture this presence. To be the Christ on earth. And it's a decision we get to make moment by moment by moment. And so for those of you that are in the sanctuary today, I want to invite you, Deidrey's going to sing another song for us, but I want to invite you to swing by that little basket there at the back. And as you walk up here to the altar, there's a little piece of paper that's wrapped around these candles. This is an affirmation. And then you'll have a candle. And I want you to come up and light your candle from the Christ, showing your willingness to show up and be the Christ in the world today. Your willingness to show up right now on Christmas Day 2022 and be the truth that you are called to be in the world. To make a commitment to yourself in consciousness that you will focus on divine love and divine wisdom in every decision you make, in every word you speak, in everything you do. And those of you that are at home, I invite you to type into the chat that you commit as well to living from the Christ of your presence. Here in the sanctuary, once you light your candle, you're going to walk over here to our burning bowl. And you're going to place your candle in here. You'll see it's filled with sand. And so you can just, put it in there kind of close to another candle where you don't burn yourself. And then you can return to your seat, and you'll have a chance where you can read your affirmation. Let me walk back into the camera shot. You'll be able to read your affirmation. So you get to read it, think about it. And before you leave today, I invite you to gift your affirmation to someone else here. Because this is just another physical manifestation of our love. And our love is unlimited. And it's paradoxical, but the more we give it away, the more we have. And so I invite you to read your affirmation, cherish your affirmation, maybe take a picture of your affirmation if you want to be able to turn back to it, but then give it away. And there will probably be plenty more candles if you want another affirmation, take one. But that's what we're going to do. And everyone at home, again, type in the comments that you commit. And Deidrey's going to sing a song, and I think we all know this song, and we're going to join in with her because this is joyful today, yes? Because we get to be the light. You are the light. I am the light. Say that with me one more time. I am the light. And so it is on this Christmas day. I love you, friends. Deidrey, will you start singing? I'm going to go change the camera so everyone online can see y'all put your candles in the burning bowl. The same burning bowl that we'll use next week when we release those things that no longer serve so that we can create the life we desire. And so it is.